Suyur. Hemen ton bırak.
5 a.m. Rush hour in central Turkey. But it's not the roads that are clogged with traffic. It's the skies.
It sounds like a jet, but it goes like a turtle. It's the hot air balloon.
A decade ago, less than 10 balloons flew the region. Today, more than 100 launch each morning. 2.5 million tourists flock here every year. They're here for one reason: to view one of the most astounding places on the planet, Cappadocia. Created by volcanic eruptions a million years ago, it's been carved by wind and rain into spires and moon-like landscapes. It extends for 5,000 square kilometers across central Turkey, an area the size of America's Grand Canyon. Its surprises are more than skin deep. The alien landscape hides an underground world, a whole network of caves. Medieval churches carved into rock, even entire cities, 20 stories deep. But just as tourists are breathing new life into this sleepy outback, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is crumbling to pieces.
We think of these formations as living beings because over time they too are born, they live and they die.
Murat Yakar is a specialist in geographical measurements. He suspects that this landscape is disintegrating faster than ever. And nature is not to blame. It's the exploding tourism industry. Everything, from the balloon traffic to the hiking trails, impacts this land.
We don't need to study the natural erosion. We believe that we need to carry out investigations into the damage caused by humans and other unnatural factors. It would be terrible to lose something that took millions of years to form in a very short period of time.
Yakar focuses on a special group of phallic formations whose shapes the tourists find particularly photogenic. Locally, they're called the fairy chimneys. They're especially sensitive to erosion. Yakar prefers to take his measurements without touching them. He's up here doing an aerial survey.
Bizim özellikle o tür yerlerde bir çalışma yapmamız gerekiyor. Peri bacıların bol olduğu, grup olduğu ve görebileceği ve üstelik de biraz da yaklaşmamız gerekiyor.
Tabii ki.
But he still needs a ground crew to help.
Yusuf, geri çık, geri çık. Bak arka tarafında peri bacaları oluşumları var. Oraya gideceksin.
Markerları görebileceğimiz şekilde çekmemiz.
Tabii ki, tabii ki. Bakın hocam, şuralara olabilir. Şuralara koydurulabilir markerlar ileriye. Çabuk, çabuk. Çabuk!
Etrafına dağıtın.
Etrafına dağıtın. O koyduğun kayanın etrafına koyun marker. O markerı buraya getir.
Tamam.
Güzel.
Getir.
The markers are meant to give Yakar a sense of scale. But the winds are not cooperating.
Hot air balloons have no steering. Main problem is that we can control just altitudes. Yusuf gir içeri gir. Ha, önüme geçmen lazım hadi gir.
Anlaşıldı hocam.
Yer rüzgarının azizliğine uğradık. Ekibi ters yöne itti bizi rüzgar. Şu anda irtifadan yükselerek geriye doğru balonu.
Instead of fairy chimneys, the researchers find themselves on a flight towards rock mounds.
Sen neredesin tam bulamadım da ben seni.
Arkada. Şeyin arkasında.
Nerede?
Nerede?
Şurada bir araba var ama tepede. Koş sen, koş.
Yakar's experiment has literally gone south. He'll have to find another way to collect data.
Bu malzemeler tabii çok hassas.
These rocks are very delicate. You have to work in a way that you cause less damage than the wind.
Yapıyorsa siz
While Yakar insists on getting his measurements without touching the form. Geologist Murat Yakar continues to investigate how fast the land is deteriorating and what is to blame. His failed balloon experiment might be behind him, but his troubles are not.
bu peri bacağı adası üzerinde
There are two types of erosions on a fairy chimney. The first one is natural, but the issue that disturbs us most is the human factor.
insan faktörü.
This time, Yakar's brought in a $200,000 laser scanner to measure erosion. But state-of-the-art technology also has its Achilles heel.
Baran Bey elektrik gelmiyor. Çıkmış olabilir, orayı kontrol edebilir misiniz?
The extension cords aren't long enough.
Tamam, çekin ve uzatmayı takın. Yeni uzatma kaç metre yaklaşık? Nereye kadar gittiğine bir bakalım.
Yavaş git biraz. Sona doğru dur.
Dur. Peki az daha şey yapalım.
Şöyle alalım biraz.
Dur. Azim az daha çek. Tamam Azim oraya koy. Azim oradan var mı görüş? Takın ama elektrik gelmedi.
Elektrik geldi.
Ha, geldi. Okey. Tamam.
Success at last. Yakar gets his measurements. With this information, Yakar can now calculate the precise volume of each chimney. Comparing them to earlier scans, he can measure erosion down to the millimeter.
Şu peri bacası ne kadarmış? Onun uzunluğunu merak ettim. Bu da 10 metre. İkisi arasındaki mesafeye bakalım. Bu 20 metrede arasında mesafe var.
Evet.
The volcanoes that created Cappadocia are dormant. Erosion is now acting on the landscape and flattening it.
2 yıllık çalışmanın sonucuna göre
In our 2-year study, we found that the rate of erosion of some chimneys is around 5 cubic centimeters, and in others, it's 500 cubic centimeters. So the life of a fairy chimney can be anywhere between 500,000 to 5 million years.
bacasının hayatının sona ermesi süresini kapsamaktadır.
The scans reveal a grim picture. The lifespan of the formations is being cut short by another external factor.
Ama
If there is human intervention, it might last for 500,000 years, or it could erode much faster.